for you personally, I know that you enjoy it.
This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
For everyone to see, all that kind of stuff. And so I think that's something I've always loved about it. And when you practice against, two coaches that know each other too, I mean, the guys are keeping each other safe, all that kind of stuff. So you're getting full speed to impact, And so you know who won the rep and who, all that kind of stuff. But I just love the different looks you get. It's a different defense. It's a different, philosophy. All those kind of things. Situations come up, and I think that you can get a lot accomplished rather than just 14 or 15 snaps in a preseason game.
Derek, today was the first chance, pretty much the entire first team offense or whatever the top players, sans Darren Waller, but a chance to go against another team's number one defense, communicating at the line of scrimmage, kind of get an understanding of where you guys are with this offense.
Yeah.
How'd you think it went, and where do you think you are with the offense?
Yeah, I think if I'm honest, we still have room to improve. I think that there's some things that we did really well today, and there's some things that when we turn the film on, we're gonna be like, oh wow, stuff that doesn't even catch your eye. Some stuff that we had a good play, so everyone's excited. But you're like, oh man, this is close to not being so good, right? And so I think that one thing I believe in that Josh keeps talking about is just not getting caught up in where we're at, just get caught up in where we're going, and always constantly just trying to be better. And that's just what he keeps preaching. So that's what we keep preaching because he's our leader, And I think that, again, we're at a place where we can play competitive football and all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting and it's fun to be able to have all those reps with the guys today. But again, I still think that there's always room in certain areas to definitely improve.
You talked a lot about, even before Davante got here, about going back to your time in college where you could just throw the ball up sometimes and know that he was going to be there and be able to make the play. Saw a few of those types of plays today where you guys are making that connection. Is that connection, has it been reconnected, or are you continuing to work on it? Where is that process? Yeah,
I mean, I think it's something that you guys have been watching and seeing through camp. On the field is what matters. We can talk about it all we want, but if we can't do it against our defense or against whoever comes into town, then it's a problem, right? And so far, it's been good. It's been fun. Him and I will both tell you that there's still things that I'm used to doing that he's used to doing, and we're finding that place in between to let's do it this way, let's do that. And we're still working, and nothing's promised, but we've been able to hit some big plays here and there, and and we've missed on a few where we're like, oh man, we could do it like this, and then we make the correction, and that's what this time is for. And you hope that there's more positive plays than there are correctable plays, and so far it's been a lot of fun.
Derek, Jermaine Illuminor has been around here for a minute now. How have you seen him grow, and is there a comfortability with you when he's up there now?
Oh, he's a very confident guy, and so when he's in there, no matter who he's got to block and what's asked of him, you're going to get everything that he has, and that's all you can ask, and he's going to compete. He's going to give it everything that he has. And I think one thing is, he's used to, hard coaching, and that's, what I think is, when you get guys that come into the league and they're not used to hard coaching or things like that, they could go the other way. But when you get coached hard every day, and you're used to it and you're a veteran, you just keep getting better. And he's someone that I've seen do that throughout the years with tough coaching and people just pushing him to be his best. And he's worked really hard to be a better player every year. Every time he's come in, I hear about what he's been doing and the workouts that he's doing. He looks great and all that kind of stuff. So really proud of where he was and where he's come from and where he is now. And I'm excited to see him just keep growing.
Derek, what have you learned about Josh as you've worked more closely together, and how's your relationship progressed since the hiring?
Yeah, our relationship has been great. When they were, last week when they were in Miami and I'm at home, he's texting me the night before the game. We're sitting there talking about a preseason game that's being played, and we're, the thought process and just really growing that relationship, being on the same page. A couple times today where he was saying something in the headset to me or to Stiddy, I would walk over to him, I say, hey, when you say that, what do you mean? And I was like, okay, because sometimes the same words coming from one person doesn't mean the same thing coming from somebody else, right? And so I've had some coaches that say the same thing, but it means something different. And so I would just go over and make sure. And so we're just growing. We're working on that. And I'm just asking questions, learning as much as I can. He's really smart. You guys all know that. He's very, very smart, and that's always been my favorite part of the football game was the mental side. Being able to know basically what to do before it even happens and all that kind of stuff, and just trying to do that. And he thinks that way too. And so it's been, I say that to say, like, we think on the same kind of wavelength, especially offensive minded. So we see things similar, and I'm learning a lot from him. He's very detail oriented. I've said it before to our guys, not just with me, but like with the whole team, offense, defense, special teams. He knows every detail of every scheme, and that's really impressive.
Along the same lines as the Jermaine question, Dylan Parham has kind of made a push these last couple of weeks. What have you seen from him, and where's the trust level with him? Yeah, again, he's getting coached hard, and he's taking it, and he's a great example of a young guy just every time, yes, sir. And then he'll go out there and try and do it better, and if he gets in trouble, it's yes, sir, And that's how it is as a young guy. I mean, we've all heard stories where rookies get up here and they're like, they just told me to keep my mouth shut and keep working, And he's one of those guys that just does that, and he's grinded, he's working. He's got some areas that I'm sure that he's going to want to continue to improve in, but from where he started, he's come a long way, and he's taken the coaching. He's trying to do it the right way. And, at that position, you got to do it the right way. And, he's doing that. I'm proud of him. He's working really hard, and our coaches are pushing him to get everything out of him, and he's accepting it really well.
A couple of times during practices with joint teams, of course, things get chippy, but today things were pretty calm. What was your initial thoughts of the demeanor of your team?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was super competitive, but there was emphasis, like, we're just not going to fight. We're not going to put up with that kind of stuff, And usually that's the case. Usually that's what, we're not fighting. And then sure enough, I'm standing on the outside of a 100-man brawl, and especially like last year. I remember standing next to the GM of the Rams, and we're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, it's time. I think we're done here. And that wasn't the case today. And hopefully it's not the case tomorrow, because there's just so much good work that we can get in from a football perspective when we have these days.
Derek, as a captain, you take that role seriously. And so in camp, when you're learning so much new, how difficult is it to go to maybe guys that are struggling and help them and talk to them, because you're trying to assimilate so much as your role as a quarterback? Yeah, you always want to make sure you're doing your job right, before you go and start correcting people all the time, and getting to a certain place, and with the coaches and with the team, and to where I do feel comfortable. And you guys know me, the way I do it. When I see something, I'm going to go sit next to their locker. I'm going to say, I need you to do it like this. Guys know I've had the conversations with them. I was like, this way that you're doing this isn't good enough. You got to do it like this. And I said, I'm the first one to make mistakes, but the mistakes are the same thing every day. And I kind of do it in a personal sense. And that's just how I've been, and I've been doing that, since camp started. Because once OTAs, you kind of get a feel for the philosophy, you get a feel for the scheme. So now it's time to lead. Now it's time to, at first it was lead by example. Put the work in, put the time in. Still doing that, but now being vocal, having those hard conversations that aren't always fun, but I'm definitely having them with guys, and just keep pushing, because I'm just at a place in my life where, we've been close, on some good, talented teams, but that's just not enough. It's the details that cost us at the end of the Bengals game. It's the details that cost us at the end of certain games. And, going forward, I'm just trying my best to keep pushing our guys, myself included, to make sure that we are so locked in and honed in on that. And if we screw it up, okay, do it again after practice. Okay, you screw it up, it's okay. Watch it again in the film until you really get it. You know what I mean? And so just pushing guys to do that really during training camps when it started, especially after learning the new offense.
Derek, in the past week, you guys have gotten a bunch of guys back on defense. Jonathan Hankins, Bilal Nichols, Trayvon Mullen, etc. Now just seeing the defense kind of be closer to full strength really for the first time in training camp. What have you seen out of those guys just in the practices?
Super competitive, right? I don't remember what day. I don't even know what today is, but a couple of days ago, before the Miami game, we had a practice, and those guys were starting to get back in there, and you saw what they looked like and what it could be and all that, and they were doing some really good things, and it's exciting. I love Coach Graham. I love our defensive staff, and they're doing such a good job of placing those guys in good places, and they're making some good plays and all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting. Again, it's practice, but you have to do it in practice before you can do it in a game. That I've seen that for my 9 years. Like, if you can't do it in practice, you're not going to do it in a game, And so seeing some good things happen at practice lets you, hopefully, leads to good things when the season starts.
Derek, this being the first time that technically that you've been able to throw the ball back and forth to Davante Adams against an opponent. How much were you looking forward to this day, and I mean, how exciting was it for you for that detail?
Oh yeah, it's exciting. And just trying to get our reps in, right, against different corners that may play a different technique or may play, play differently because of their body type or, how they play, and just getting those different reps, right, against different guys, different coverages, different looks. We were obviously looking forward to it. This is obviously, as you can see how training camp has progressed in the preseason, this was an important week for us. And so getting these reps is crucial for us. So to be able to connect on some things is good, but the ones, the one or two, I think we missed one. The one that we missed on the left, we're going to look at it and be hard on ourselves. Be like, how can we make that one? That's what I learned from Coach Gruden was awesome. You completed, 26 out of 29, but what happened on these three? And that just keeping that mindset to just always strive to be better. That's what I've always done, and I'm even just trying to do that even more, with everybody this year.
There was a story
like you're in college again, like you're back at Fresno State again, the two of you.
Well, the defenses are a little better, No offense to the other Mountain West guys. I see two UNLV hats today. No offense, but the defenses are a little more complicated and all that kind of stuff. But it does, like when we connect on one, I have had thoughts of like remembering a play that, we did that against that team or something like that. So yeah, I have those thoughts, but it's definitely different.
There was a story that came out on Saturday, Tom Brady, Dana White.
Yep.
First of all, any thoughts on that? And then also, are you kind of immune to all the nonsense?
By now, yeah. I would hope so. I mean, it is what it is. For me, like, I didn't even hear about it. We actually had within the building, someone lost a family member. So, like, I was so immersed in that and just talking to that person and that kind of stuff that it really was. It was a moment to really put things in perspective. Like, it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, anything I say will just be blasted out there. So I'm just going to completely remove myself and just keep trying to play football. It's been nice just answering football questions. And hopefully no more drama in the city. That's what I hope.
A two-part. Josh has said that he's going to gauge variables toward the improvement of the team as to who he's going to put on the field during preseason. Have you been given any indication for this week as far as whether you're going to play part one, part two? Is a joint practice enough for you, or do you feel that you need to play in at least one preseason?
Yeah. So part one, he hasn't. Part one, he hasn't said anything to me. He hasn't said anything to me about any of them leading up to this. We just prepare as if we're going in, and then last second is, all right, you're not playing, that kind of thing. And so that's just how it's been. So we just keep our mind ready and ready to go at all times. Part two is I've had seasons where I didn't play in the preseason. I've had seasons where I've had a drive. I've had seasons where I played in the fourth preseason game for a whole half. To me, it doesn't matter. I feel like if I work at practice the way that I'm supposed to, I'll be ready for week one. And so. I don't know when I haven't played in the preseason what week one looked like, and all, I don't know. But I've never felt like I wasn't ready, if that helps. I always feel ready to play, and because I've treated practice like that. My dad taught me to do that as a little kid, and he said just treat this like the game. And so my whole life I've always treated it like a game, so that when the game comes, you're just ready.
Let's wrap it up with Vic and then Adams. What have you seen from the running back group this camp?
Deep, a lot of talent. Especially, you see guys that, have ability to make, some 12-yard plays turn into like 30-yard plays, maybe more, right? And it's a deep position, which it'd be tough decisions and all that kind of stuff that they've already started to make, especially in that room with a guy that was, productive for us and a good player in the NFL. And so it's impressive to see, no matter who's in there, the production that they've had, and the physicality they play with, all of them, even the guys that would be quote unquote smaller back kind of things, they still play with a certain physicality and that kind of stuff, toughness. And that's why I've just been impressed with them. It's a very deep room, hey, this guy's in for this play. This guy, you wouldn't even, blink your eye. You're like, yeah, he can do it, that kind of thing.
Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, that was good.
Good.
All right, we'll wrap it up with it.
Derek, Just real quick, obviously Josh, the time he spent with New England had his fingerprints on that offense. I'm curious if you saw any glimpses when you were watching their ones. Were there any glimpses of leftover of whatever it is that they're doing? And then you maybe saw and went, oh wow, this is, and it gave you an inclination as to how to do something. Or was there anything you saw from the Patriots offense that's resonating?
I gotta be honest, I saw like 2 plays until the 2-minute drive because we would come off and treat it like a game. I'd sit down and do the conversation, talk through it kind of thing. So if I'm honest, I saw only a couple plays. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Derek.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just kind of kept.
I'm gonna send it to me? No, send it to them. Send it to them or yeah, I'll sit 15 minutes. Yeah. I can add some of it. Does he have any? I shot them towards the end where the rip together. We can also give him like some of ours too. Is it all? No, it's only over there. You want me to add some stuff? Yeah, you can add like a few little plays for concert. Okay, we're gonna do that. You didn't break your mouse, did you? No. Are you set? Here we go. Yeah, a little bit. We got somebody else.
I saw a report yesterday that King Drake got released. Kind of speaks to the competitiveness of the running back room. What have you seen just throughout training camp in the room, kind of pushing each other to do those spots?
I mean, the NFL is a business at the end of the day, and it's tough to see anybody. It's tough to see that headline with anybody's name in it. But this room, this competition, it's making all of us better. And I mean, I even speak for KD on that one. I know it made him better as a player too. We push each other. We try to learn from each other, not only be better football players, but better men, fathers, brothers, whatever it may be. But that's the nature of the game.
What are the biggest things you want to see from these 2 days against the Patriots?
Football. I mean, that's what we signed up for. I mean, it's great to get in and practice it against each other, thud each other up, get a feel for your teammates and stuff like that. When you have opportunities like this to go out and call it a practice game against another team, I mean, that's invaluable work that you can't get working with a guy that's on the same team as you.
Looked like you were Mr. Popularity out there with your old guys. How was it that?
It was great seeing those guys. I mean, I stayed in touch with a lot of them anyway, but it was great to see them in person. I was just telling the younger guys, a lot of those guys I saw coming to the league, and that was years ago, and we practically grew up together. So for a lot of those guys, it was not only just former teammates, it was like family to me.
Derek had said that before practices, it was said, no fighting, let's just stick to practice, no shenanigans. Of course, you can't really help that with tempered player, but as a former Pat and sort of a leader, a veteran, did you have a voice in that and making sure that things sort of say practice only?
No, I'm not I mean, for anyone who knows me, they know I'm not a guy to get in front of anybody and say anything, kind of just lead by example. So kind of guys were just kind of taking the cues from the vets, and I would say it was great leadership on both sides. They did a great job of making sure nothing happened as well. We kind of just went out there and everybody just did business as business was being done. And I'm proud of my teammates and former teammates as well as everybody going out and trying to get some good work that they allowed us to get.
Brandon, did you
a chance to reach out to James White after his retirement announcement, and just what did that relationship mean to you over the years?
James is, like I said, James is not a former teammate. James is not just someone we share in the room. James White is like my little brother. I remember when he first came in and he was worried about getting cut, and to now see him have such a successful career, and then he kind of went out on top the way he did. Very proud of him. Love him to death, him, his wife, Diana, and his kids. So, shouts out to him. I love James to death, but I kind of knew about it before everybody else did because, like I said, it's like my little brother. So we still have our group chat from 2015 with me, LeGarrette Blount, and Deion Lewis. So, we still tight in that aspect. So we kind of already had the heads up. So we was able to say our piece before, his phone blew up and he couldn't answer any one of us.
Brandon, I know. Go ahead.
And then just with Josh, what would you say are the different, or how would you compare Josh, the head coach, versus Josh?
I had said this kind of earlier. It's just like kind of the parents leaving the house and your older brother's kind of babysitting. That's kind of how it's been. Me and Josh have been together for a long time, and to just see him go from, the offensive coordinator just calling plays, kind of just tending to one side of the ball, to now to see him stand in front of the whole team and address both sides, for me is still kind of surreal because in my mind it's like, Josh, you have no idea what defense you're talking about, but he's doing a great job. I love it for him, and I'm super proud of him as well. Like I said, he's one of the other people that we all grew up in this system together, so it's been cool.
Brandon, I know you guys are still kind of in grind mode right now, even in an atmosphere like today. But when there's some connections between Carr and Davante Adams down the field, big plays were made. Can you give yourself a little bit of time to think, wow, that's possible? That's what this offense is capable of potentially this year.
That's every day since we started. Just kind of seeing how we're all starting to mesh together, how well we do play, complement each other in a run game, pass game, whatever. So being in just from a team aspect to see how all three units kind of go all together it's been a sight to see. And something as an older player, you kind of see the young guys kind of get with it and see how fast we're moving along. So it's been great to see.
Brandon, you had a chance to see Ramondre in his freshman year, local kid. He's coming back. He's going to get to play in front of a lot of local fans. Had a big career at Centennial High School. What did you see about him? Why is he a special kid?
Ramondre is a special football player. I really never thought about that. I loved him last year. Still, like I said, my little brother. We talked earlier, but you would kind of have to ask him those questions because. I'm going to be a football fan regardless of him anyway, any of those guys. But as far as just all that, I have no idea.
All good?
Silence.
Guys, can you shut that door, please? Before we get started.
Oh, you're good.
Wait for it to silence. It's so loud. You guys are good?
Max, I'm sure you've been kind of champing at the bit to get out on the field against another opponent besides another Raider player. How was it out there competing against the Patriots?
It was a blast. There's definitely room for improvement. We had a lot of stuff going on. A bunch of different looks. And I feel like we got better. There's things to improve on. But it was great going against somebody else and getting some fresh looks. So I feel like overall it was a good day, and we just got to be better tomorrow.
From that perspective of seeing different looks, seeing different personnel groupings, another team doing it a different way, cadence, all those type of things, how beneficial is that at this point?
Yeah, I think it's huge, and especially you're going against, obviously Bill Belichick and their regime. Like, they're very smart, and they're always trying to give us different looks and slow us down. So, that's something Coach McDaniels does as well. So I take it on as a challenge every single day to try, to defeat chips, defeat different slides and protections and things like that. And I feel like just helping us get better. So overall, I think it was a great experience, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Go ahead. with Bilal coming back and Jonathan and Clee, guys on the D-line are kind of starting to get healthy again. What are you seeing from the group just kind of out there today, being back and forth?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we did some good things today. I love being out there with a full group. Bilal's a great player. Clee, having him back is great. It was a lot of fun. There's definitely some room for improvement. We just got to keep getting better as a group. Obviously we haven't had a ton of reps together, but we've been in the film room together, and we're just trying to talk through things to get better one day at a time.
Bilal, in particular, you haven't spent a ton of time around him just because he hasn't practiced all that much. But how would you describe his game and what you going to do specifically?
He's been around. He got here in the off season, so he was here for OTAs and things like that, and he's been great since he got here. He's been constantly just trying to learn and improve his game, and I think he has a lot to offer. He's an absolute baller. He just got to continue improving and staying healthy, and I think he's going to do a lot of great things for us.
Max, Jermaine Illuminor's really sung your praises lately. Said you've inspired him to change kind of the whole way he approaches football. You also go against him a lot in practice. It seems like courts with your positions. How have you seen all that he's done translate on the field?
Yeah, I saw, I seen the video and things like that. Him talking about, that, and that's at the end of the day, like that's what it's all about. Like that's what I try to do. Just try to help people and improve. Improve everybody around. Not just myself, but inspire others. To get better. So yeah, Jermaine's done a lot of great things. He's a good dude, and I want the best for everybody. So like I said, I tell him every day, like I'm gonna give you the best look every single day. I'm not going to take a snap off. So that's just only going to help him and help other guys on the team, and that's what I try to bring to the table every day.
Let's talk about the different looks you're getting to see in the joint practices. Will that be enough for you, or would you like to get into at least one preseason game play this Friday?
That's not my decision. I don't make those decisions, but it's great. These practices are like our games. Going ones versus ones. We're getting one-on-one work. We're getting twos on, 2-on-2s. We're getting live team reps, stuff like that. So this is our real game reps, and it's just fun going out there and competing against somebody else. And it gets everybody starts getting a little heated. It's hot out here. We're going after it, but we're getting better. So that's all you can ask for.
Max, you cracked the top 100 players in the NFL list. How does that feel, and just kind of seeing your ranking, and how much does that motivate you to even be higher on that list?
Yeah, it's incredible. I remember watching last year, and I was like, I'm gonna be on that. I'm gonna be on that next year, and I told Rachel that. So yeah, it's something. It's another thing that just helps inspire me. It's not like I made it now. It's just like it's incredible, but. I just got to keep improving. I want to get higher and higher in everybody's eyes. As a player, I want to be the best at what I do. So, it's awesome. Getting recognition, but it's just a start.
Sean said that 59 wasn't high enough. What's your
no comment. But it is what it is. I feel like it's a big major respect from fellow peers around the league, and I feel like it's a good start for sure.
Derek Carr on social media for the entire his performance. What do you think about Sean's effort?
Yeah, Deshaun's been doing a great job. Ever since he got here, he's been asking questions. He's been, just a great teammate to be around, and just seeing him, get more comfortable out there and making plays and everything. It's been incredible. I wish him nothing but the best. We have a lot of guys competing right now and trying to make this team and trying to, earn reps and things like that. So whenever you see a guy like that who's just humble and comes in and works, I'm gonna be, room for him every single day.
Max, I don't know who you saw more of today out there, but what kind of tests did either Trent Brown or Isaiah Wynn give you like a?
Yeah, they're both good players. It was fun. Both guys. Obviously I know Trent. When I was a rookie, he was the guy that nobody wanted to go against, and we gained a mutual respect because I wanted to go against him. Nobody else wanted to. So I got a ton of respect for him and Isaiah as well. He's done some good things in the league. So yeah, just getting a good look out there and just helping each other get better. I think it was a lot of fun.
Max, Derek earlier said there was an emphasis on no fighting during these practices. After what happened last year with the Rams, that whole thing went sideways. How much more good work, positive work do you guys get accomplished when there's not fighting?
I just, I feel like it just tempers sometimes flair, in the heat of the moment. But, obviously we don't want to waste time and get out there and someone break a hand or something dumb like that. So, there was no fights today. I think, for the most part, and we're off to a good start, so it's better than last year.
Hey, Max, I was wondering, you're watching that fight card on Saturday night, and suddenly they're talking about Dana White and Gronk are talking about the Raiders. What were your thoughts?
No comment. No comment.
What did they give you anything about the fight, though?
The fight, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I think the last two fights were insane. Luke Rockhold and Costa was one of the best fights I've ever seen. It was this backyard brawl, and then the Usman fight, I couldn't believe it. It's just like anything, any sport, every single detail matters, and he made one little mistake, and it cost him. So it was incredible, and I think it just opens up that whole division. I think it's gonna be really interesting.
Who's the best UFC fighter in the team?
Best UFC fighter on the team?
Who would be the best UFC fighter?
It would be me. It would be me. No question.
Did you do anything special for your birthday?
I came in here, showed up to work, went home, ate dinner, put the Normatex on, whooped my brother in 2K. Shout out to Miles. I hope he's listening. Smacked him with the 64 Celtics. So, yeah, it was a great night last night. Can't complain.
Who'd you play with?
I was 64-65 Boston Celtics. He was the 2012 and 13 Miami Heat with LeBron and all them. Still smacked them. So, yeah, we got a good series going right now.
Are you going to have to fight Chandler for that top UFC fighter spot?
Nah, Chandler doesn't count. I would never fight Chandler. He's he's got too much fighting in his bloodline. I don't think it's a good idea. I love Chandler too much, though. He's a great dude. But anybody else, it's free game.
Max, do you have a different mindset this camp, knowing that you're going to be a dad here in a couple short months?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yesterday was 5. I think we got 5 weeks now. So. It's unreal. It flew by. I'm just super excited. This camp has been super long. Lot going on. Rachel's giving me updates, sending me videos. Friggin' seeing a baby kick around her stomach. It's like the craziest thing. But it's incredible. It just gives me an extra bit of motivation. Having a daughter on the way. We've been talking about it for so long, and finally, it's about to really happen. So I can't wait till she gets here. We're gonna have a blast, so it's gonna be great.
On a serious note on that, have you thought about if it's a Sunday?
I've already talked to Coach McDaniels, as far as planning for that. We have a emergency team, who's going to call me if she goes into labor and everything like that. So we're already ahead of the curve. I feel like it's just going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So, I'm not stressing about it.
Last year when we spoke, you had called her sort of your hero in saving you in a lot of ways. You sort of feel this year you're playing two roles, and you're coming to work, and then you got to go home and sort of be her hero now, but going through this pregnancy.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Me and her is like she truly is like she's a warrior. She's been through it all. We've been through everything together, and it's rare. She was with me before I ever did anything, ever made a play or anything like that. So. She's just incredible, and the way she's been handling this has been inspiring. She can piss me off sometimes and be in those moods, but I'm just like, okay, it's okay. I understand it's not personal, but she's doing great, and we're just fired up to have a little baby girl.
Max, you've always set goals for yourself throughout every season and everything that you do, and I think you obviously want to get to the Hall of Fame as an in-game, but for this season, have you set a goal for yourself of any sort?
Yeah, there's definitely a few things I want to do. I'm not, I don't like to make any predictions or anything like that. I kind of keep that to myself, but I'm super fired up. I just want to keep improving and taking the next step. So, every single day is an important day for me. And I feel like today was another day where I got better and trying to make my teammates better. Especially it's hot. We're over a month into camp, going against somebody else, doing a lot of different things, but I'm just trying to improve every single day. That's all I can do. I don't try to think too far ahead, think about the past. Today was practice, it happened. I'm gonna watch the film, get better from it, and show up and be better tomorrow. So, fired up.
All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, y'all. Thank you, guys.
See you.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.